I had hoped there might be a greater sense of balance within the city. That its walls might enable sheltering within it to foster community, peace. Yet it is not so. Unnatural steel beings patrol the streets. The printed word sows discontent, and those in need are treated with disdain. Is this truly what progress looks like? Sometimes it is difficult to see exactly what we are fighting to save here. Sometimes the Shadow Druid's desire to separate nature from all this seems pragmatic, not fanatical. I do. But at times like this, it can feel like an impossible dream. I was harsh on myself before. On my leadership of the Grove, the decisions I made. Perhaps too harsh, considering this place.
It's an orphanage, Ukta. What would you have me do? Seize their toys as payment?
Well, they failed to pay tribute. We should withdraw our protection, at the very least.
And cede more ground to the Stone Lord? You're not suggesting I yield a single inch of the city, my city, to this cult?
We already look weak. If you're seen to be forgiving debts...
I didn't say forgive. Seize the building. Are many children old enough? If they protect what's mine, we'll consider that a start on what's owed.
Yes, Guildmaster. Excuse me? This is a private council.
Keep your underpants clean, Ukta. We're playing host to a hero. You owe me a gold piece, grandmother. When I heard you died out in the wilderness, I made an offering at Kellenvor's well.
Of gold? Oh, I did not know I meant so much to you, Guildmaster.
No, I'm terribly sentimental. Case in point, I've just let a harper walk through my guild hall, noticeably unholed. Because I'm curious about why you're here and who it is you've brought with you.
This is the one who saved my life. So really, she owes you your gold piece. But we can settle debts later, Nine Fingers. For now, we need help. We're searching for Minsc of Rashomon.
A big name, that. Such information does not come cheap, High Harper. Not in normal times. Of course. Seeing as these are not normal times and we're all such good friends, I'll do better than tell you where he is. I'm bringing him here as we speak. Or parts of him, at least. I gave no orders about the condition of his corpse.
What treachery is this, Nine Fingers? Have you thrown in with the Absolute too?
Against my own city. Careful. You're in very real danger of hurting my feelings. It's Minsc who's found his faith with Faerun's newest god. And a new name with it. Stone Lord.
Lies.
Exactly the one. Guild crews may be prone to exaggeration, but not in this case. In his short reign, the Stone Lord and his crew have earned a reputation. Pure brutality. No survivors. And where he mows my people down, this ripe little cult takes root. But not for much longer. We have word on where he plans to hit next. And he'll find us ready to hit back this time.
Nine Fingers. Estelle. Call off your ambush, tell us where he is, and we'll handle this.
We? I heard what happened to your harpers, Jaheira. I'm sorry, but this fight's too big for you alone. I don't let trust tie my hands. That's why I sit in this very fine office. The Stone Lord's fate is sealed. We have a bigger war to fight. I'd rather turn our talk to that, but if you need a moment, Jaheira, well, you've earned that much. My guild hall is open to you. Have a drink, Jaheira. Have a rest. Just leave well enough alone. It would be a shame for the city to lose 2 of its heroes in one day.
See? Nine Fingers is a master of strategic. She's clever, Foz. Won't fight the Stone Lord out in the open, but she's got a spot picked out, see?
I don't care about Stone Lord Tut. Don't care about some ambush. I asked, do you eat my last pickled ooze? Huh? Bugger off! I'm talking to my friend about an ooze.
Now. He who keeps his manners keeps his teeth. Besides, you are only pretending to be as wine-soaked as your friend here.
How can you tell?
I've been to fouler festivals than this, and you have the stage presence of Volothamp Gedarm. Now, you were speaking to my friend. Politely.
See, Foz? This one has risk, right? Now, where was I? The Stone Lord, aye. Bastard's going after the accounting house, but he doesn't know that there's just another guild operation, huh? Nine Fingers is gonna catch him with his claws in her coffers. I pity the bastard.
The counting house? But what the hells could Minsc want there?
Happy? Now, away with you. We want drink in peace.
Yeah.
The counting house. More bastion than bank, I'm afraid. Minsc must have a way in. But he's never had much use for coin beyond whatever sharp steel it could buy. There must be something in the vaults the Great Chosen are after. All the more reason to get there. Swiftly. Only what we heard from Keen. He seems to have sprung up while we were out in the Shadowlands. The Stone Lord she described sounds nothing like Minsc. As for the name, well, a bad joke, perhaps. The time of troubles ended almost a century and a half ago. I weathered the years between with all the elven grace you have no doubt come to expect. But do you know how Minsc, a human, passed those years? I'll give you a hint. They named him the Beloved Ranger.
You recall the urban myth that trickled through the lower city fest halls some years back. A hero who had been turned into a statue, returning to life in the city's hour of need.
Because who would question a statue to our friend? Thinking Minsc of Rashomon had returned to a hero's welcome in Rashomon. I don't even know how he was freed. Harper work would take me from the city, sometimes for years at a time. The few occasions I visited his monument, well, I took it as a moment for reflection. To think of old friends, and the fight I had to continue in their name. And during all my self-serious brooding, that big, dumb, insufferable buffoon was staring me in the face. hope you find yourself amusing, at least. Come then, to the counting house. Assuming Minsc has not since tripped and fallen into a demi-plane, or some such.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Sounds like we're not the only ones tracking down this Minsc fellow. Let's hope Nine Fingers' bounty doesn't attract too much competition.
This Stone Lord and Minsc are one and the same. Jaheira's friend has taken a dark turn, it seems.
So, this Stone Lord is the legendary Minsc. And a newly minted cultist, no less. Are we sure we want to find him before Nine Fingers does? I doubt he'll be pleased to see us.
Minsc is working for the cult. Damn. He must have been tadpoled, or worse. The real Minsc would never join up with the God's damned Absolute. Maybe we can help him. The prism, right? He should shut that tadpole up. If he doesn't kick our butts first. It's kind of his thing.
Minsc is the Stone Lord. Jaheira's friend doesn't sound so friendly after all.
So, the Stone Lord is Minsc, Jaheira's old acquaintance. Painfully small world at times.
Minsc, the Great Ranger. He's alive and infected. Else, we need to act.
Welcome to the counting house. I'm Head Clerk Mead, honey. How may the Fellowship of Financiers serve you?
A relaxed tone and easy smile, but the halfling's shifting gaze gives it away. Something has him rattled.
Will this one start breaking bones like the Stone Lord? Hin's horned feet. I should have been a baker. The who? The what? All right, fine. A rather large and heavily armed fellow has taken head banker Glitterbeard below. He used that name. He's an unusual sort of customer, but the head banker said he'd handle it, so it's fine. I'm sure we're just fine. That would be most unusual, but then so is our visitor. Very well. Show the guards this temporary vault pass, and should my superior ask, keep my name out of it.
Vault pass. Right. Descend and know. Upon entering the vaults, you forego the protection of city and church law alike. Which is to say, keep to your own vault and you'll be fine.
Oh, please.
Just need to see your vault pass, please. No idea. Our porter's out here. Besides his chosen swords, Head Banker Glitterbeard doesn't like us asking what goes on below. For security, I expect. Looks in order. Blessed day to you.
still moving.
Hush your fussing. Nine Fingers had this one made especially. A little mouthful will barely slow it down.
But the stories...
Stories. Tall tales and big names, lad. Don't let them fool you. Elminster the Archmage, Drist the Drow Exile. Heroes have power, aye, but not half so much as we do. A little coin into the right purse. A soft word in the right ear. It's not glory that spins these plains, lad. It's gold. See? Now. Morrigan's cracked clay.
No gold in here? If there is one thing Minsc hates more than beasts with bad breath, it is those who are tricksome with the truth. And turnips. But you are no turnip. Let that be of comfort in your final moments.
Meet Minsc. He still seems very much himself to me.
Is that the beloved ranger? Jaheira is gonna burst. I'm gonna burst. Oh my god! Minsc!
You.
Stone Lord. Huh. Better to call yourself Stonehead.
Your false face does not fool my eyes. I will cut until you look like the monster you truly are.
Somehow, you are making even less sense than usual. Perhaps I can explain. The Stone Lord sees through your lies, shapeshifter. Count yourself lucky he cannot stay. Oh, Nine Fingers set a poor trap, little banker. Let the Absolute's faithful show you how it is done. Now come, Stone Lord. We have the gold. And the Absolute has need of it elsewhere.
As you say, Jaheira.
Slarning shape-changers! Enough! Let us deal with these cultists. Then find out where they are nesting. I grow tired of these false faces. Every corner we turn, another. And now it is my face they use to turn Minsc against us. I am sorry, but... I am just tired. Oh, a terrible rallying speech. No poetry. Not even a little pat on the head. When I left Minsc to this fate, I believed I had no choice. I believe it still. We were ignorant of our enemy, unarmed against the cult. I made the right decision, but I do not like how easily I made it. Minsc would have never left me behind, no matter what happened. That is his problem entire. The past century left Minsc unchanged. And so he believes the world has never changed, that I have not. You saw the fool. hanging on the doppelganger's every word for no other reason than it wears my face. No. But snotting into my sleeve while there is still work to do is. Come then. We need a lead, and bullying this banker ought to make me feel better. Those footprints. By the odor, they teleported in from the sewer. Yes? Of course. You're no true Baldurian unless you've sloshed around in the slurry, after all. The Undercity is perilous. But I recall Minsc making a home down there in the old days. To plant his boot on the very bosom of evil. Or some such. I'll mark an entrance, I know. From there, we shall just have to follow our noses.
Something's on my mind.
All the coin seems to be there, if a little blood-stained. You lot are enthusiastic about your lord's work.
Our Lady. We serve only the absolute.
Oh, silly me. We Zhentarim are so long past our own godly roots, I'm afraid I forget the half of them. But you, I know. When did you start worshipping gods? Did they give your wee rodent a worm friend, too?
Rodent?
Enough! You will show the Stone Lord proper respect, and you will return to the Guildhall and do as we have paid you to.
Of course. I only thought...
Wait. Flop all you wish, little fish. But Minsc has caught you!
On that note, good luck. The job will be done by the time you get to the Guildhall.
Jahira! You have an evil, much uglier sister. Minsc does not like this.
Do not kill him! Find another way! Please!
No! No!
Nothing important is ever easy.
This is my time.
Against the darkness swarming, his senses a single light glows. Rage, flaring brighter every moment.
Killed her.
He won't stay down for long. Tell your Elith to protect him from the Elder Brain's influence. Quickly!
No. This one will not aid our cause. Get rid of him. Don't be foolish. He is too unpredictable. He will only be a hindrance to us. No, I will not be coerced into protecting him. You do not see what I do. His thoughts, his mind, pure chaos.
The Mind Flare pours poison in your ear, I think. Tell it I will tear the prism from your grasp and throw it into the deepest lava pit I can find. Long after our bones are dust and ash, the walls of its prison will still be burning. Now help my friend!
She bluffs. Surely she would not risk the fate of all for one simple life.
His mind unfolds beneath yours. A still lake pulls you down into its depths. Images flash by, battles fought, and friends fallen. His rage grows colder, burrows deeper, as a familiar face crystallizes before you.
Jaheira! You killed her!
You are being dramatic.
The instant's hesitation is enough. With a sensation of terrible rending, something vast and nameless falls away from his mind.
There. It is done.
Jaheira? I do not understand.
Good. That means you're back to your old ways. We have a lot to discuss. But first, you have someone to thank.
In the sudden silence, your minds merge once more. More memories, sensations, but passing too quickly for you to track. In the same breath, you share everything that happened to you. The Nautiloid, the Absolute, the chosen of the dead three.
You saved Minsc. While he danced like a Mind Flayer's meat puppet. Why?
Suggested.
You do well to heed her. Jaheira was very wise. Even before she was very old. There is someone you must meet. He is... Where is he? He's on his way!
Come, laggards. There is still enough to be done this day.
That was Minsc. The Minsc. Part of the crew who saved the city from Saravok all those years ago. Dunno who the Stone Lord is or what the hell he's got himself into. But that man is a legend.
What's hiding here?
Of all the places I expected would find this Minsc, crawling from the broken jaws of a mimic wasn't high on my list. What's life without a few surprises, eh?
Minsc puts on quite a show of brawn, even if there's no brain worth mentioning. I mean, I hate to judge the proverbial book, but that oaf may be all cover and no pages.
Minsc. He seemed to believe that doppelganger was truly Jaheira. A sure sign he's being manipulated.
Minsc believes a doppelganger to be Jaheira. He is being manipulated. I am all but certain.
My friend, from our brief sharing of skulls, I know you have faced many strange beings, but none like this. Whatever happens, show no fear and stay your hand. Trust in Minsc. Minsc finds that the less thinking he does, the easier the trusting comes. Wait! You gaze into Minsc's soul and see his foul crimes. You smell the stench of evil upon him, pointy claws primed, ready to scratch out his eyes. I am sorry, my friend. I am at the mercy of your faultless justice. Now, if you must burrow through my blackened heart, I am ready. No? You are certain? Oh, such boundless compassion. You are all heart, and whiskers, and cute little nose. You are right, of course. There is still much evil for Boo and Minsc to stamp out. But we need not fight it alone. I have a new face to show you. But it is not a villainous one for the clawing, understand? This is Boo. And Boo, meet you? No, it is a hamster. A miniature giant space hamster. Fear not, you will learn the difference in time. Those villains locked Boo away, lest his righteous gaze cause their tadpole to flee in terror. Now we are together again. All will be exactly as... Boo, why do you use such language? Once more, my hamster proves himself my greater half, and makes the path clear when my mind is fuzzier than his tiny bottom. He says we will join with you, and cleanse Baldur's gate of evil, together! I give you my solemn vow. Should any of us show signs of weakening to the worm, or any other evil, Boo will slaughter us all in our beds. I hope this brings you comfort. Miniature as Boo is, he is also giant. You will need to make room for us, my friend.
Off I go. You'll know where to find me.
Get comfortable, Boo. We go to battle and... to glory, or glorious death.
I think you might have made a terrible, terrible mistake. Huh? Chasing rumor halfway around the city and back. Crossing the guild. Wading through filth. Defying the one creature upon whom your very life depends. All for a madman and his rodent.
Boo would know the meaning of your meaningful glances.
The Absolute threatens thousands. The entire coast. And still you risked much to help one man. I should berate you. But... I can only say thank you. Your reasons were your own. But whether you meant for it or not, your fight is our fight, huh? Both of us. To the very end. Do not take that tone with me, rodent! Fine, fine. All three of us, then. Lead the way. We're yours to command.
Do you feel it, Boo? The path of virtue beneath my boots once more. Boo and I, we are in your debt, my friend. Of course, my friend. Or are we not friends? Then you have a sword at your side and a hamster at hand, whenever you need them. Unless I die, or you die, or you do anything at all to upset Boo. Now, does Boo see a question in your eye, or just a parasite poking through? Well, Boo, explain yourself. Clear enough? Can you not? Do you not see his noble bearing? The deep wells of wisdom that are his eyes? Boo speaks of much. Perhaps one day, you will be ready to listen. There is nothing jestful in the bond between a ranger and his companion. Before Boo, I was a typical berserker of Rashomon. Duty-bound and full of my own seriousness. The problem with one so gazing of their navel, however, they are easily ambushed. Brigands split my skull like a sodden wineskin. It was as I recovered that Boo first appeared. He told me that I had felt the great poking finger of justice, marking Minsc as its champion and Boo as my guide. As for the headache, well, justice cannot always afford to be gentle. Real? Boo, I think our friend has suffered a head wound of her own. Now, shall we away? My boots crave the crunch of unvirtuous nethers. So dark an alliance sealed with scentish contracts, cultish vows, and a dragon's shining hoard. You think Minsc could forget? You are correct. I have no idea what any of that was about. But we shall simply... Boo! Why do you gnaw at my soft parts? I am trying to... Once again, in smaller words? I see. This truth you seek. Boo believes that Minsc is knowing more than Minsc knows. But it is a difficult thing. There are memories of this time that Minsc does not remember. And Boo suggests that, just as he helps with tricksome itches in awkward places, you must reach what Minsc cannot. The parasite. You can use it to tickle free whatever truth you seek. The worm has already whipped me around the city like a slack-backed pony. I have no wish to saddle myself a second time. But if it cannot be Boo who pops inside my skull for a rummage, then I trust you. Or Jaheira, but she is currently possessed of an empty head.
I count my blessings every day.
I do not often go against the advisings of my hamster, but as you wish. Perhaps you might speak to the corpses you left behind. I'm sure Boo can scare his soul back into it long enough to answer some questions. Oh? The mind of Minsc is a simple place. Of what strangeness do you speak?
The memories resurface, A lifetime of battles blurring into one. A single constant is Minsc, launching into the fray no matter the foe, be they god, monster, or man. It seems just the barest glimpse of what the man before you has seen and done, but enough to know that he has no right to still be alive.
Ah, wait! That look in your eye. I know exactly what visions of Minsc you have seen to cause you such wonder. My pants. Thrice laced in the Rashomar style, so that a berserker might split skulls without fear of splitting breeches too.
Ha! Pretty good idea.
They are fiendishly complex, but fear not for Minsc. With training, he has learned to master the many little knots. Well, as have you, no? Do not forget that when you gaze into Minsc, Minsc also gazes into you. We both fight evil, wherever it is found. The who and where are less important than the hamsters you meet along the way. On this matter of sharing memories, I see no reason for us to worry at one another's worms. If there is more we wish to know, we can simply ask, no? Exactly so! If I must peer into the mind of my enemy, I use an axe. For friends, there is ale. No, my friend. If you fear you have a question that Minsc cannot answer, then you can simply ask Boo. There is more than a little to know, I think. I am huge. Ah, you come in search of stories. It is not yet time to tuck Boo in for the night, but very well. After our adventurings with the Ballspawn, Boo had had his fill of godly flesh. So, we returned to Baldur's Gate for a time. After all, in every city there is a sweaty underbelly, crying out for a virtuous scrubbing. None better to wield a brush than Minsc and Boo. Perhaps we rubbed some villain's rump a little too raw. This Minsc does not know. One moment we stood in the city slums, the next, ambush. Then Minsc and Boo woke on the wide with stone dust in sensitive places. The mind of Minsc was occupied with important matters. I was browsing a slum vendor's stall, looking for Boo's favorite nuts. And then, I was stoned. For Minsc, those years passed as quick as a hiccup. It was long ago, then, it is now. I do not like these metal men on the streets, or the villains who hide behind them. But the new world is not so different to the old one. The city still clings to the hill. The sea still stretches on forever. And the stench of evil still makes Boo wish for a tiny peg on his nose. As long as that stench remains, no matter how old or young the world is, Minsc and Boo will not rest. Countless tales are told of Boo and Minsc. Many of them are so outlandish that even I do not know if they are true. Did Minsc bravely fend off the seductive vials of a succubus in the cloisters of Candlekeep? Maybe. Did he take a bath in the river Styx and temporarily forget himself? I do not remember. Did he travel with a spawn of the god of murder, who warred against his evil brethren and battled triumphantly at the throne of Baal itself? Of course! It was a splendid adventure. Oh, a curious question. Are a child and his father always alike? Take Minsc. He does not have a clear memory of the face of his father, but he does remember tugging on the thick, red whiskers that sprang from his chin. A beard for the ages. Who could have nested there happily through even the harshest of Rashomon winters? Now, look closely at Minsc, and what do you see? Well, yes, but also... Who is correct? No beard! There are more whiskers on his tiny face than on the mighty chin of Minsc. If Minsc did not inherit the flaming red hair of his mother, or the bushy red beard of his father, why would the spawn of Baal inherit his wickedness? I have many more thoughts about beards to share. I did not know you cared to hear them.
Minsc just joined our team. This is the best day of my life.
The cub speaks. Huh. Not so much a term of age or affection as simple old habit. You object? And will be again. But now I shall mutter them under my breath, out of respect.
Minsc seems quite the, enthusiastic ally. Would all do well to remain on his good side, and out of the range of his fists.
So, we can add one bald wall of muscle to our little group. I'm sure he'll come in handy. Maybe as a doorstop.
On Kresh Kalir, giant space hamsters are a staple food. Their hocks are quite scrumptious, if a bit fatty. Very. But I've never heard of a miniature version, let alone a conversant one. Which means Boo is either a rare specimen, or an ordinary hamster.
Boo seems like a worthy addition to our group. His pet, Minsc, may prove useful also.
Minsc has great heart. We shall need the likes of him for the trials to come.
Fine lodgings you have found, my friend. Boo is already in negotiations with the guardian spirits of this place. In Baldur's Gate, they are likely to be rat-formed and eager to charge rent. But Boo shall secure safe slumber for all. Now, what do you need of Minsc? Jaheira, Boo is trying his best to explain, but I still do not understand your anger.
Do not hide behind your hamster, Ranger. You do not understand because you do not listen. We were the first to discover the cult. And if you had only waited, we might have marshaled our numbers and...
Good does not wait for evil to button up its breeches. When it offers buttocks for the smacking, Minsc and Boo greet cheek with hand.
This mess falls on our heads, Minsc. The city under siege, its people poisoned by the cult. It all might have been avoided if you had just put your feelings aside and listened.
have seen too much to believe destiny has taken our side. Blind luck, perhaps. The point remains. You meant well, Minsc. But you exposed the city to harm. You helped the cult spread. And worse, perhaps than any of this, you forced me to leave you behind.
But this is where Minsc falls short of the understanding, Jaheira. What else is a berserker for, if not to charge into danger ahead of his Waclaren?
Waclaren? Minsc, I am not your witch. You are not my bodyguard. This is not some high lodge of your homeland.
Boo agrees. You're a queer kind of witch. But this city is a queer place. And Minsc, you may have noticed, is sometimes strange himself. The titles matter not. Only this. When Minsc does as Minsc does, and charges in to make a mess, Jaheira does as Jaheira does, and finds a way to save us all anyway.
Well, at least you're getting to know him a little better. I am your friend, Ranger. I am not your witch. There will be no ointments or healing balms.
Not even for Boo?